Okay, this video is about putting on these iBoards onto a 2013 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. We're laying out all the parts there and making sure they match. You got a long running board over there for the front. You got a short running over for the passenger side, the long for the passenger side. You got a short one for the driver's side. There's 4 brackets for the passenger side. Okay.
I think somebody's coming.
If it has a P on it, all right, it's for the passenger side. Okay. There's 3 of a kind and 1 unique one. The 1 unique one goes at the front. The other 3 are spaced out as per the instructions along the side. Driver's side has 2 brackets. Okay. All of them mount
I think we got people
with a plate that swings up inside of a hole and then mounts through the hole in the bracket. Okay?
People coming.
The end of the number 1.
People coming.
Okay, we're under the vehicle now. We're on the passenger side at the front. The mud flaps here. Little rubber plug right there. Right, the way these things attach through this whole arrangement is you pop out them plugs and you put in these little mounting tabs, okay, that look like this. Okay, I'll do it in a minute, but essentially what you have to do is take the rubber out and then put this tab up through the hole. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, there it is with the little hole open. This is the tab in my hand with a little plastic retainer on it, the nut and the bolt here. Okay, this goes up in there, sits down, then you run that plastic container, that plastic retainer down to hold the position of it so it don't fall through and what have you. Okay, then you end up with that, is what you end up with. Then the bracket goes, you take the nut and the washers off, and the bracket goes over the bolt, and the nut and the washer go back on, and you rinse and repeat all the way down through these holes and plugs. We'll look at that in a moment. Okay, here we are. There's a stud sticking out. This is the bracket. It's the one PFM on it. That's passenger side front mount, PFM. Okay. The hole here goes up over that bolt. Don't knock the bolt out of position. Okay. Like that, and then we put the nut and washer on. So I'll do that while you step away. Okay, now here we are with the first bracket on there. The part outside of the structure over here, this is where the running board is going to set on that. All of these are just a J-shaped bracket, okay, that you bolt on. Leaving them loose, you leave the bolts loose so you can get things aligned and shoved around where you want them ultimately. Then we'll tighten all this down. Now we do this repeatedly until all of the hangers are up here. This is the first bracket on the passenger side put into position. The vice grips are gripping the support brace to the pinch rail. They'll be drilled in a moment. Let me go around this. Okay. That's what it looks like. Up on top, here's where you're going to put the board. The support bracket's going to bolt to the pinch rail. The sport bracket is bolted to the vertical bracket. Use a vice grip to grip the support bracket to the drip rail. The support bracket goes on the outside of the pinch seam. Then we drill the pinch seam, 1/4-inch drill bit, and we put the bolts through it. Do one side and bolt it, then remove the vice grip and repeat the hole on the other side. Size the 1/4-inch hole up to 5/16 to get the final bolt hole size. Now install the bolt with a washer under the head and then a flat washer on the other side, then a lock nut and a lock washer and a nut, just like the other bracket mount was. Use wrenches to tighten up the bolts. We prefer to use an impact. You can use end wrenches if you want. There is the completed front of the passenger side. The positioning of the hanger brackets on the Mercedes version of the Sprinter works out to be as this. The first rubber hole, third rubber hole is at 16 inches. Next rubber hole you use is at 50 inches measured from the front bracket. The back one is at 61 inches, okay? This correlates to the drawing as follows. The first, third, fifth, and eighth rubber hole, you can't use the fourth as shown on the installation information due to a fuel tank bracket on the Mercedes. The positions shown in the instructions probably work for the Ram. The running board on, you slide the bolts, square-headed bolts into the slot. There's an opening to let them in. Put 2 in each track for the driver's side, 4 in for each track on the passenger side. Space them approximately where they'd go. And just turn it over, lay them down, put them on, washer, and a locking nut. And there it is, dressed right, covered down, tightened up, and left alone. I got in about every direction there is. Looking good, I think. Makes that step down and out a lot easier for sure. Goodbye.